Hello everyone, welcome to my DJI Mini 4 Pro test flight and a little bit of a walk around our neighborhood here in Gorgona, Panama. You just saw a clip of some mountains to the east of us, and there's another mountain range to the north of us. This is still flying east of us, as you can still see the mountains to the east. And you can see many people have pools in the area, of course, as 30 degrees is probably the minimum temperature in our summer. And you can see everything is still green and lush, as we're still in the, what we like to call green season, or some call it the rainy season. We probably get rain 3 or 4 times a week, and it's not like all day. It's usually maybe a good rain for an hour or two, and then maybe some drizzle here and there. Usually if it doesn't rain in the morning, it might rain in the late afternoon, or vice versa. It is a beautiful afternoon and maybe some showers in the morning. What you're looking at now is the Ocean Waves condominium building. We have some friends that live there, and we've been through a number of the apartments. It's a very nice building. We decided not to live there just because it only has one pool, and I know that they like to take, in the off season, they'll shut down a pool to do some maintenance and repairs, and that leaves you with no pool. So that was the main reason, actually, but it's a lovely building. Now there's a setting on my new drone, the Mini 4 Pro, that's called cruise control, and I've got that set now. So you can see I'm headed in that same direction the whole time. So you just make adjustments with the joysticks, and then you press cruise control, and it'll just keep that setting and fly until you press it again and stop it. You can add settings to it, like looking down with the gimbal like I did, or yawing left or right, or ascending or descending, and keep pressing the cruise control, and they add up, and you can really make some complicated moves very easily. This drone is packed with technology. It's just so amazing. So this is the first real test flight, so I'm getting used to it. It is very responsive in comparison to my old drone, and which I will keep for maybe some tough situations in the jungle, or filming in waterfalls and that sort of thing. This guy was a little more expensive, so I want to keep it for more cinematic open shots. It has an excellent camera on it, as you can see. Now right here by the Ocean Waves building, there was about 4 or 5 frigate birds, which, if you don't know, their wingspans probably go from 3 to about 6 feet. They are a huge bird, and they love to patrol the beach, look for scraps, and there's a little fishing port right next to us, and the fishermen will often clean some of the fish, so they're looking for scraps too. So that right in that little bay is where the fishermen go. And that is our building, the Royal Palm. It's 24 floors. We're on the 11th, on the other side of the building, facing west. And the sand here, many people ask, well, what's the black in the sand? Well, that's volcanic rock, and being worn away by the ocean. It's so fine, and the white sand there actually is quite coarse in comparison. So it's kind of nice to have the mixture of the two. Now, at this time I had to put it in sport mode and get over to the Royal Palm quite quickly because one of the frigate birds was checking me out, and a bird that size could take the drone out no problem at all. So I did jet over to the Royal Palm quite quickly there. It's a nice building, and there's 2 pools down below near the beach, 2 more pools above the parking garage, which is the 3rd level. You can see some of them now. That other building that you're looking at, the larger building, is the gym. It's quite large, very well equipped. There's a climbing gym and things for the kids, and the other building there is actually indoor play center for the children. And then there's 3 courts. There's pickleball, there's an open court that they usually use for playing some soccer, and there's a tennis combination basketball court, the orange one there. And if you have a look in the top right corner, I'm right there by the wall, where the wall intersects with the back wall, and that's where I've been standing the entire time. So right now I landed the drone, and we're going to take off again. Now this is called screen recording, so I can record my screen. So you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing when I'm flying the drone. You can see there's some grid lines on the screen to help me know where the center of the screen is, and also the thirds. If you know anything about photography, as a rule of thirds, you don't always want to put your subject in the center of the photograph. Off to the side sometimes is a little bit better. Anyway, the bottom right, you can see that I have a storage card there and how much storage I have. I'm shooting in 4K 30 frames per second and in automatic mode, and I'm running a 64 ND filter. Over to the left, you can see my height, which is 4.7 meters. My distance is about 9 meters and changing as we move. And the little radar screen, and you can see the H kind of moving down. That's the home point. So it updates that home point, and that's where we took off from. So I can return at any time automatically to that home point. And it just flies by GPS. So the thing that looks like the radar screen there, the little arrow is the drone, where it's headed. And as it turns, it's like a horizon, just like on a real aircraft. So that will turn and move as I turn left and right or go up or down. And that can help me find my way back if I need to. I can also double tap it. It turns into a map. So it's just loaded full of technology. Up top on the top left, you see it says C mode. That's cinematic mode. That's what I like to fly in most of the time. It's for very slow, deliberate movements. Over to the top right, you can see I have about 92% battery left, and the other is an estimation of the time left, 40 some minutes. And then there's a strength bars. That's the signal between the drone and my controller. And then there right now 24 satellites hooked up to a GPS. And then right down from that you saw a red circle, and that would be to press to record, which you see right now is what the drone was recording minus my screen. So the other one was a screen record. This is the recording from the main camera. And this over here is just to the west of us, across the road where we get to the Royal Palm. It's called Gorgona Cabanas. And there's little like motel rooms you can rent. There's 2 pools there. You can see all the falafel huts there. And there's a beach area. There's also volleyball. A lot of people come here from Panama City on the weekends to party a little bit. It's a cheap place to rent, but they keep the place very clean and tidy. There is some good parties and party music happening here too, especially on the weekends, but this usually shut down by 10:30, 11 o'clock, except for maybe a national holiday where they light out. They love their fireworks, and they will play the music well into the night. So here's the little port where the fishing boats are, and you might see some of them on the sand there. The tide is quite far in, so they're all pulled up. There's a couple of white buildings and a yellow building there. There's two Bahia buildings are the white ones, and we lived on the one on the left, and the yellow one is the Serena building. And this is another building just to the north of us, and you can start to see some of the mountains to the north of us. That's where normally I would trek to film some of the waterfalls in the area. I can't remember the name of this building actually, but it's, I don't want to call it a low-rise, but I guess it kind of is in comparison to the beachfront condos. So it's a little bit cheaper, of course. They don't really have any amenities. There's above-ground parking only, so your car's in the hot sun all the time. So we opted for a building with quite a few amenities. We have covered parking, and the gym, of course, and all the pools and sunbathing areas, and the list goes on and on. So we're just so blessed to be able to stay at the Royal Palm. That little gap in between the mountain ranges was where the main highway in Panama goes through, and we're about an hour and a half from Panama City, which is nice because we're in a nice small town kind of area, but there's lots of shops and restaurants just 10 minutes away. And if you want to go to the city, like Panama City is like Toronto or Montreal or a larger city in the States. It's quite large. Anything you want, you can get there. But of course, we're not big city folks, so we prefer to stick around this area if we can. Well, thank you for watching, for a little trip around our area here in Gorgona with the first test flights of the Mini 4 Pro. Take care, and bye for now.